What in the world just happened? Bo Bichette has just signed with the Mets on a 3-year, $126 million contract to play third base, opt-outs after year 1 and 2, no deferrals, all on the heels of losing out on Kyle Tucker after you offered him 4 for $220. He went to the Dodgers. The Mets, who I don't feel like have been linked to Bo Bichette at all this offseason, not for a second, just went out and signed Bo Bichette. I thought Bo Bichette was going to be a Philly. Seemed like that's where he was going. Now he's a Met. He's going to play third base. This is crazy. Again, I'm going to insert the Mr. Krabs, the woozy meme gif or whatever that's going to be. Maybe I'm being old by using that one, but whoa, I am genuinely shocked. I've recorded my initial reaction for Mets Up, my Mets podcast, because me and James were actually recording for the windup when this news broke, and then all of a sudden Bo Bichette signs with the Mets. We were talking about, are the Dodgers ruining baseball? And the Mets went full tilt. I think Steve Cohen definitely did not like the fact that Kyle Tucker didn't sign with them, especially given that the offer was an incredible offer, apparently, from the Mets, too. And he just was like, all right, Bo Bichette time. Let's go sign him. You got the money, David Stearns. Go get it done. $42 million a year for Bo Bichette's crazy. It's nuts. Now, listen, the Mets are a much better team with Bo Bichette than without him. This team looks better. They've desperately needed a right-handed bat in this lineup so bad. But for me, someone who has definitely been, I want to say, a Bo Bichette hater more than a Bo Bichette lover, like I think he's probably was a little bit overrated in baseball the last few years, and I think this contract's crazy. One, it's not my money, so I guess I don't really care. 2, at least it's a short-term deal, because I definitely don't like Bo long-term, especially with the injuries that he's acquired, and the fact that he wasn't a very good defensive shortstop, and the defensive position's definitely a question mark, but never once did I think that he was going to be a New York Met. I did not think that was happening. Again, not something I expected. I guess a happy late birthday present to me. Shout out David Stearns and Steve Cohen. I like the fit. I like Bo as a player. Like at the plate, of course, this is something that the Mets really haven't had over the last few years, which is going to be super, super high contact, aggressive hitter like that. He's going to either hit 2 or 3, I think, in this lineup. This also signals to me that the Mets are probably not done, if not maybe just getting started, because weirdly, we got like our 5th second baseman this offseason, which is kind of crazy for how this roster's built. But you've got Bo now at third, Lindor at short, Marcus Semien at second, and it seems like Jorge Polanco at first base. They also might work in Brett Beatty at first base, according to Ken Rosenthal. Also, Brett Beatty's name has been thrown around in trade rumors as a big piece that a lot of teams could want. Is this to go get Derek Skubal? Is this to go get Freddie Peralta? Is this to go get Joe Ryan? Is this to go get some pitcher that we don't know of? Maybe you move on from Brett Beatty. Mark Vientos' role just became pretty much obsolete. I can't imagine Mark Vientos is on this team come opening day, just because now that we do have that right-handed bat in Bo Bichette, something the Mets desperately needed, there's other spots that need help. Like, we still don't really have a center fielder or a left fielder. Are they going to go after Cody Bellinger? Are they going to trade for Luis Robert? Where are the Mets going? I've said it all off season. I don't know what the plan is. If you go back to the Edwin Diaz video, if you go back to the Pete Alonso video, and if you watch anything on the windup or Mets Up, I have been in complete shock. I have no clue what the Mets were going to do this offseason, where in the past I feel like there had been a plan that at least made sense. Like, we knew they were going after Soto. We knew they were going to go after these pitchers. We knew they were going to be dumpster diving at point for some of the cheaper guys on the pitching market. But now I genuinely don't know, because, again, didn't seem like the Mets were linked to Bo Bichette at all this offseason. Did I miss it? I feel like I didn't, because talk about the Mets every single day, basically. I didn't think Bo Bichette was going to be a Met. This is shocking to me. This is crazy, and it's definitely a tilt move, right? You guys can let me know in the comment section, but this is for sure. I know all the reports are saying that the Mets' plan was always that if they didn't get Tucker, they were going to go to Bichette. We didn't hear anything about that. So once again, I guess the Mets just kept things close to their chest. Whew, I got to take a deep breath. I feel like I've been talking for like 25 straight minutes between this and Mets Up, and the windup just being completely shocked for all the different reasons. Like, when we got the Pete Alonso news, which, by the way, I would have rather just given Pete Alonso 5 for 155 than Bo Bichette 3 for 126. 3 for 126? I keep wanting to say 140. It's 126. 3 for 126, $42 million a year. But I definitely would have preferred Pete Alonso. I think it says a lot about where this Mets organization wants to go that they let Pete walk, brought in Bo Bichette on this contract, especially with the opt-outs. Did they offer these opt-outs to Kyle Tucker too? Opt-out after 1 year. This is the Alex Bregman deal to play third base, a position that Bo does not play very often. I don't think he has a lot of time at third base in his career. They thought he was going to be a second baseman this year. Whew. This is crazy, right? Am I the only one who's thinking this is crazy? Is this Mets bias showing? Is this being a Mets homer? I didn't expect this. All right. Now that we're past the point of surprise and expectations and me genuinely being like, what? What are we doing? We signed who? To how much money? Not my money, not my problem. Let's take a look at what this Mets lineup is going to look like, because this team desperately needed a right-handed bat. When you look up and down this order, you had Francisco Lindor, switch hitter. You had you had Juan Soto, a left-handed hitter. You had Brett Baty, who was lefty. We didn't really have any sort of right-handed oomph. Like, I know Marcus Semien was a right-handed bat, but he really hasn't been great. Jorge Polanco, switch hitter, going to be hitting lefty most of the time. You look at this lineup now, it definitely looks a lot better. Like, I do think that top three-wise, Lindor, Soto, Bichette, that's going to be the top three. It's a pretty good top three. It's going to be guys who get on base a ton. Guys are going to be able to drive in a bunch of runs. Bo Bichette puts the ball in play a ton. I actually do love Bo hitting third behind Soto and Lindor because he's such a contact, put the ball in play first guy. It'll give him more opportunities for RBIs when Juan Soto and Lindor, who get on base so well, are in front of him on base, as opposed to him being two in front of Juan Soto. This also, I guess, gives people the Juan Soto protection. I think this does more for Bo Bichette than it does Juan Soto because, again, it is about who's on in front of you, not necessarily who's hitting behind you. I definitely still don't like 5 through 9 on this team, like Marcus Semien hitting fifth. Don't feel great about that. He was better in the second half, but wasn't so good in the first half. Maybe Brett Baty is the DH like it has here. Maybe him and Polanco just flip-flop between first base and DH. Maybe they're not trading Brett Baty, but also seems like he would be a piece that would be used to go get a major starting pitcher. Francisco Alvarez, he was awesome down the stretch. Once he got back from the injury and fixed his batting stance, he was awesome down the stretch for this team. So, like, this is a better team. I'm not mad about this move by any means. Again, I know I've been a Bo Bichette hater, but that came more so because I think he was overrated rather than someone who is actually a bad player. I don't think Bo's bad, but third base, that's such a unique position. Has he really played third base that much? Let's look up his baseball reference to see. This team still desperately needs pitching, though, as we know. Like, Noel McLean, I think, is a true ace, but then we do have 4 starters at best probably in this rotation between Peterson, Holmes, Manaea, Senga, and then all the young guys with Tong and Sproat that are also coming up. Maybe they get moved in a trade with Baty to go get a big-name starting pitcher, which would be sick. I'd love that. This is such a different Mets team. Wow, I'm still really shocked that Bo Bichette is a New York Met. Also, it rhymes. Bo Bichette, New York Met. And also bumping Brett Baty off the position when I feel like they really like Brett Baty. I feel like they were really excited about Brett Baty. I think he was great in the second half. I don't necessarily know if I want to move him for, like, Freddie Peralta on a 1-year deal. I don't think I want to move Brett Baty for Joe Ryan. I would love to move Brett Baty in a Tarek Skubal trade, and I do know that there'd have to be much more that comes along with it. But Brett Baty's got control, and he looks so good. Bo Bichette is a Met. What in the world? All right, let me look at his baseball reference again. Let's see if he's played third base. Because, of course, the big talk was that Bo was going to move to second base. I guess he was also open to third base this entire time and maybe was going to play third with the Phillies if they signed him. Also, love that. Love that we're taking Bo Bichette away from the Phillies because it seemed like that's where he was going. And then the Mets just sneak in the middle of the night. Well, I guess it's the morning now. See, my timing is all screwed up because the last 12 hours has been a whirlwind from Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette. So let's see. Bo Bichette at the major league level has not played an inning of third base. Okay. I guess the Mets, Kai Correa, who is the Mets' new bench coach, I believe. He's also going to be their infield guy. He is fantastic at making players better defensively. He did a lot with the Giants, made J.D. Davis a capable third baseman. In the minor leagues, Bo Bichette had not played a single out, not a single pitch of third base. Whoa. So Bo's going to play third. I know he doesn't have the strongest arm either. It's an interesting fit. I'm not going to lie. That's where sometimes I don't get it. But surely Bo Bichette allows the Mets then to move on from Brett Baty / Mark Vientos / Ronnie Mauricio, one of those three. You use them plus maybe a pitching prospect. Obviously, it changes on the caliber of player that you're going at to go get another pitcher. They probably go aggressively after Framber Valdez now, right? If they're going to give Bo 3 for 126, you probably are giving a relatively similar offer to Framber Valdez over a 3-year stretch. You're probably like, hey, Framber, 3 for 100 to 120 range. It's going to be an overpay, of course. Like, if I'm going to make fun of the Ranger Suarez deal, I would have to do it as well for Framber Valdez. Getting that kind of money would be insane. But is this just the world that we live in now where you're just going to have to pay an insane amount of money to get the top free agent at the time? Because I don't know if Bo Bichette's a top player. I think 129 OPS plus is always incredible. He can definitely hit. My biggest concern is if he can play third, but I guess if you hit like this, it doesn't matter, right? Like, this is a good move. This is a good move for the Mets. And he's also 28. He's young. He gets to opt out if he wants or not, and the Mets still get his prime athletic years. Hopefully he's healthy. I guess that's another one of my big concerns, but he definitely mashes 311, 840 OPS. Sign me up all day. The Mets needed more good hitters. It's just interesting when you weigh on a scale. Like, Mets didn't give Pete Alonso 5 for 155, but they did give Bo Bichette 3 for 126. And I think there's a debate there of who's the better player and who's the better hitter and who's going to be more valuable over the next few years. It's just they probably didn't want to give Pete 5, or they wanted Pete out. That's interesting. So this team is so different. This team looks so different than it had last year, the year before. There's so many new guys in on this roster, and I think I like it. At the end of the day, how I'm going to wrap this video up and get back on track is I like the move. Again, the money is insane. The money is nuts. I think that's crazy to give Bo Bichette $42 million a year, especially with the opt-outs. It's crazy. But that's the market. It's not my money, so I don't care. And clearly Steve Cohen doesn't care. Steve Cohen's going to spend whatever money he wants, which that makes me really happy. If Steve Cohen's willing to spend $42 million a year on Bo Bichette, probably willing to spend a lot of money on other guys too, which means I think there's more moves to come. But whoa, this is still shocking. Did not expect this at all. I have so many things to do today, and I did not expect to be recording 5 videos in the morning because Kyle Tucker to Bo Bichette to then the windup to the Mets stuff. Links in the description to all those channels if you want to check those out as well. Windup, we're going to have a video out later today. Mets stuff, we're going to have a video out. This is crazy, guys. Crazy. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to GiraffeNeckMarc. More Mets news is never a bad thing for me, especially when we're getting better. I love that. I get to be positive about this. Like, good. Bo Bichette's good. This team just got better. We need a right-handed bat. That's great. But I guess the confusion and the surprise is what's really overtaking me. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this deal, what you think about this move. Shout out the Mets for helping me out and making the late 30 birthday now present a little bit better than losing out on Kyle Tucker. And you can follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description as well. Thank you guys for watching. I got to edit this and upload it. Peace out. Bye.